lovelies. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. Today I want to talk to you about another condition that may cause hair loss. As I say always, I'm not a doctor, I'm in public health, so please, if you are concerned about your hair loss, see a doctor, see a dermatologist. And for me, the best way they found my condition was through biopsy and told me I have androgenic alopecia. But with my androgenic alopecia, I showed you the pictures. I had bald spot. I was losing hair like crazy. And then I did all the treatment I talked to you about, and I literally stopped losing hair. But recently, I started losing hair again. Not at the rate as when I first did, but I still lose hair. And I went to my dermatologist, seeing if I have if my androgenic alopecia is causing this. But no, it wasn't androgenic alopecia this time. It's called Telogen Effluvium. Okay, I know it's hard to pronounce. It's Telogen Effluvium. Basically, it's the telogen phase is the resting phase of your hair. So in a normal day, we all lose about 100 hairs a day. When we brush our hair, you will find hair in the pillow when we shower. And this is part of the normal growth cycle. Hair will grow for a few years, then rest for a few months, shed, regrowth. Basically, that's what the hair cycle is. And telogen is the name of the resting stage of the growth cycle. So in a given time, about 85 to 90% of our hairs on average are actively growing. It's in the anagen phase or the growth phase. And then the others are in the resting phase or the telogen phase. It's rest about 2 to 4 months and then falls out, replaced by new hair, new growing hair. Telogen effluvium is when, due to some stress, it cause hair roots to be pushed prematurely into the resting stage. So instead of staying in the growth phase for a few years, it goes prematurely into the resting phase. So it can be acute, means temporary, short term, or chronic. And some of the common causes of the stress can be high fever, if you have childbirth, if you're having some kind of severe infection or severe chronic illness, psychological stress, or if you had a major surgery, overactive thyroid glands, doing some kind of crash diets and medications. And what are some of the medication that can cause that is retinoid, beta blockers, calcium blockers, antidepressant, and NSAIDs, which is ibuprofen and Aleve, those kind of medication. Now my situation falls part of all my stress level is from most of the above, except for thyroid, or I don't have iron deficiency. I started losing hair again. I would do this. This is some of the thing I do to make sure, and you can see it's hard to see, but I lose hair. I started. It's getting better now, but I started losing hair, so I went to my dermatologist. I was told it's in the telogen effluvium, and she showed that it is that, as opposed to the alopecia is, because if you can see here, I was losing hair, but you can see I have like baby hairs, and she saw that throughout my scalp. So in Telogen Effluvium, you may notice hair loss. In scalp, significant shedding occurs while you're shampooing, which I did, combing. Basically what I did is I actually stopped using the eye store, the helmet, because I wasn't losing any hairs, but I started using it again along with the oil. Basically this shedding, it usually slowly decreases over 6 to 8 months, and when the stress subside, your hair falling will subside. So these are temporary reversible hair loss. So if your doctor tells you it's Telogen Effluvium, that's good. But nowadays, what science found out that chronic effluvium happen. For acute telogen effluvium, there is no treatment needed other than some doctors give minoxidil or Rogaine. And what the chronic effluvium is recently been shown as not too uncommon, and it often occurs in women who previously had thick hair in their teens or 20s, and it affects the entire scalp. More in women, but telogen effluvium affects everywhere. It's entire, and there's no apparent obvious cause. It usually affects women in their 30s to their 60s, and starts suddenly, and it tends to fluctuate for periods of years. So the degree of shedding is usually high in the early stages, and but it doesn't cause baldness. That's what my research showed me. So if you're losing hair, of course it is stressful, but I would suggest, again, go to a dermatologist. If they diagnosed you with telogen effluvium or androgenic alopecia, remember telogen effluvium mostly is acute. It could be related to stress. And once the stress subsides, you will your hair will stop falling. And whether telogen effluvium or androgenic alopecia, talk to your doctor. If it's androgenic alopecia, beside minoxidil, your doctor may suggest taking medication, like I take spironolactone. So again, the best way is to go to your doctor. And for me, the best natural treatment is the hair oil mix I told you about, and I do that. I take care of my health. I stress. So on top of androgenic alopecia, if you're going through stress or on some medication, you're gonna see hair loss, but just remember it's reversible. As I said, that I have telogen effluvium, and it is not necessarily all psychological stress. I've been on few medication that they increased, and so my hair loss went up. Now that the amount has decreased, the shedding has got better, and also my hair oil mixture or everything I'm doing is showing that I'm actually, I have lost some baby hair as well. So it's not that I've stopped growing hair. When I first diagnosed with alopecia, my doctor actually looked through each hairline and she didn't see much of hair growth, but mostly bald spots and thinning hair. That's why she did the biopsy, and yes, and that showed I have androgenic alopecia. So today I just wanted to bring you one other topic. So your chronic hair, your hair loss may not be due to androgenic alopecia. If you have been going through sudden, whether psychological, physical, or any big stressful event, there is a possibility when you start losing hair, it can be because of the telogen effluvium, and it lasts about 6 to 8 months depending on the stressor. And if once the stressor is gone, it will stop, it will slow down, and you're going to grow hair again. If you take care of the stressor, treat the stressor, you'll see a huge difference. And I hope this gives you an ease of some sort in terms of your hair loss. Again, it can be from androgenic alopecia. I do have androgenic alopecia, so it can be from that, but it also can be from telogen effluvium. So with the telogen effluvium, it's temporary, and not, I wouldn't say very rarely, but there can be a chronic part to it. And remember, alopecia will make you bald, but telogen effluvium will basically make your hair look thinner instead of bald. So to summarize, when you start losing hair like crazy and you are going through a big stressor like childbirth, surgery, some major chronic illness, or you have thyroid issues or iron deficiency, remember telogen effluvium can be the main cause, not alopecia. And just stay calm. Don't add more stress to it, because you want to address the main cause of your hair loss, which is the stressor. And stressing on top of that will increase your stressor, and it will not address the hair loss. Go to a dermatologist. If you're told you have telogen effluvium, they usually would only suggest minoxidil, no other treatment. Then you use minoxidil if it's helpful to you and you're not having side effects. But if you're like me, who has itchy scalp from minoxidil, I try the oil I do it once a week now as opposed to twice. I tried the oil. I use the eye restore helmet. I try to address the main cause of my hair loss, which is the stressor. Mine is medication and illness, so I try to address that. I would love to know if you or anybody you know have gone through telogen effluvium. How did you treat it, and what did you find helpful? Please put your feedback in the comment section, and I would love to know what other area do you want me to cover in the next video, and I will try to bring that to you. So until next time, take care, be safe and happy viewing. Bye.